Okay, back with Gerald Celente. I'm Jeff Rense. Glad you're along tonight. Thanks for being here. We always appreciate you very, very much. Congressman Louis T. McFadden, who fought the Federal Reserve, as you know, Gerald, until the day he died, literally, in the mid-1930s, said, when the Federal Reserve Act was passed, the people of the United States did not perceive that the United States was to be lowered to the position of a coolie country, which has nothing but raw materials and heavy goods for export, that Russia, China, and India were destined to supply the manpower, and that this country was to supply financial power to an international superstate, a superstate controlled by international bankers and international industrialists acting together to enslave the world for their own pleasure. Does Goldman Sachs ring a bell? How about 20 others? We've talked about them tonight. So Congressman McFadden literally gave his life fighting the Federal Reserve. Would that more stand up and confront these gangster, bankster swindlers, which is exactly what they are.
Well, before we go any further, I also want to say that when I do get off the phone, I'm going to Rense.com, and I'm going to hit that support button and make a contribution to the great work that you do.
Thank you, sir.
And how needed we are, all of us, to have a voice of independence that we have to hear during these times when our nation is sinking so fast and our freedoms are being taken away from us in ways that we could have never dreamed of. So I urge everyone out there that wants the voice of freedom to continue to ring to also hit that support button.
Thank you, Gerald, very much. I'm profoundly moved that you would say that. I thank you, and thank all of you who have stepped up and made a gesture. These are tough times. We are all facing difficult times, but unless we stick together, those of us who understand and really care about this country and its future, we haven't a prayer. We might as well snap on the leg chains right now.
You said it.
Yeah. Now's the time. What's that line? Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country, and women. And if we don't, in a way, I guess we deserve what befalls us. I hate to say it.
How many congressmen and senators are there? What's the 500 something?
565, I think, some Congress, something like that.
Where are 300 million people? How could they be led by a Congress of corruption and clowns, the likes of which in our real lives we would never want to associate with these people? I mean, can you imagine sitting down to lunch with Newt Gingrich or Nancy Pelosi or Harry Reid?
I couldn't keep my food down.
I wouldn't. They would not get in my circle of friends.
No chance.
Barbara Boxer, Feinstein, Dodd, Biden, Bonner, McConnell, Laurel Hardy, Mo, Larry, Curry.
No, let's not disparage Laurel Hardy.
You're right. I'm sorry. I lost my head. At least they made us laugh, and they weren't giving it to us at the same time.
You got it. 435 representatives and 100 congressmen, so I was a little over. There's 535 altogether.
And the people, 300 million strong, are afraid to stand up and speak out. And instead they follow the likes. I love it. Every time they talk about this guy, Larry Summers, Obama's chief economic advisor.
Yep.
Every time they talk about him, it's always the brilliant Larry Summers.
Well, that's the lapdog toady media doing what it does.
Yeah. These are the people that Biden, what did Joe Biden just say the other day?
God, first of all, he said that the United States would not stand in the way or really care in any way. It's not our business if Israel were to attack Iran. That's one thing he said.
Yeah, the other thing he said recently was when they miscalculated their stimulus package. It hasn't stimulated.
Oh, yeah.
He said, quote, the truth is, now remember, the truth, Jeff, the truth. And he's telling you the truth. Now, you pay attention. The truth is, we and everyone else misread the economy. No. Everyone else did not misread the economy. We at the Trends Research Institute read it correctly, and we've been reading it correctly for decades. The arrogance of these people. How often does government have to be wrong? And how wrong do they have to be before the people and the media stop taking them seriously?
You know, I wish there was an easy answer, but when the media is owned by 5 or 6 corporations, they're all in bed having sex with each other, it's pretty tough for the disenfranchised majority of Americans to stand up and get their message across.
Well, I'll tell you something.